Hi folks, and welcome back to Fishing with Den. Well, last time we went out and we did some fishing with some of these new pellets that I'd decided to make up, and you may remember they come in this sort of form, which is like a piece of bread really. I make them up at home almost like a boilie mix and then punch them out on the bank. Straightforward punch, and that's how they come out. So last time what we did, we fished on a still water and we used fairly smallish pellets on the hook. Today we're on the main river. Tide's just coming in, so we're going to have a fair old current against us. And what we're going to do today is we're going to try these pellets, because they're experimental, remember. We're going to try them on a hair rig. I've just, while I was waiting, put out 6 balls of ground bait through this big feeder, cage feeder. I'll just stop that from going backwards a second. And what we're going to do is we're going to put them on this great long hair. I'll show you exactly how they go on in a second, but the rig is fairly standard. I've got a 6-pound bottom, size 14. I think this is a KKHB, whatever it is, Preston, but it's a size 14 eyed hook anyway. 6 pounds line, 8 pounds main line, and the feeder is a homemade one, which I've just made, and I'll probably go to a smaller one, but to start off with I'm going to start putting it in with these. It may not hold the bottom because this one's only 40 grams all told, and when the current gets up I'm probably going to need 60 or 70. Anyway, as far as putting the bait on, it's pretty standard stuff. Got my needle into the speed stop, and then if I've got this mixture right, this should go through and in without breaking the thing up, and that's that done. So it's a long hair, so I'm going to put at least 2 on, maybe 3. I haven't decided yet because I've never tried this before. We'll try 3. You can always take one off and pull that out, and that's actually not looking too bad. Let me show you where we've got to. Hook's nice and proud. 3 good sized pieces of bait on, and now I'm going to chuck it out there and see if we can catch a fish. I have got some sweet corn with me, so I'm going to try that at some point today just to test the effectiveness of one bait against the other. But really, this is the second part of the experiment into this new homemade, I think we call them durable hook baits. But anyway, let's just chuck out there and have a go and see what we can catch. I've got some of the standard chicken layer pellets with turmeric on, which I'll put in along with some corn. Now this probably weighs the best part of over 100 grams all up once it's completely full, because it's a great big feeder. But we'll see if it holds the bottom. I haven't actually cast in with a bait on yet, so I'll have to wait and see on that one too. Got a marker across the way. It's about 14 feet deep here at the moment, so it's going to take a while for the thing to sink. And that's it, just hit the bottom there. Okay. A little bit of extra slack line just to see how it goes, but we may have to go straight to a smaller but heavier feeder. I've got 50 gram versions here. Just stop that. And I've also got square versions to play around with. So a bit of experimentation in 2 ways today. That seems to be holding just for the moment. The tide will get stronger, of course, so we are going to have to go to a smaller one, but this is really just to get bait out there. I've got those 6 feederfuls out there already, which I did just before I did the introduction, and that was probably what, 5 maybe 10 minutes ago, so probably expect to get the first bite after about 3/4 of an hour to an hour. I'm going to keep casting fairly regularly for the first say half an hour or so, just to get plenty of bait down there. In this place you need to get plenty of bait in to attract the fish. So if I just have a quick look at the bait, just put that onto anti-reverse again, and that's actually holding up really well. no signs of cracking up or whatever, and it didn't feel too hard, so I think we're looking quite reasonable at the moment. Another feeder full out there. If you think about the size of this feeder, it's the size of a decent sized handful of ground bait, so this will be what, all told, probably what, 7 or 8 balls out there now already. If you're wondering why I'm holding the rod way up in the air like that till it hits the bottom, it's called fishing the bow, I suppose. Right, it's hit the bottom. Then if you just allow the line to go down with the current, it puts a bow in the line, and that stops the feeder from pulling out of position. Obviously, if the current gets really strong and you've got a light feeder on, it will eventually pull out. But if you were to try and do it just straight out, it would actually pull round a lot earlier than it does this way. Well, we're about half an hour in now, and I've been casting in, as I said before, reasonably regularly just to get some feed in there. And after half an hour, let's have a quick look at this. Yeah, the bait's actually pretty much the same as it was before, but I'm going to change it anyway, just in case any of the flavour gets washed out, and we'll see what happens from there. Well, we're actually about an hour in, and normally I've had a bite by now, so just in case it was my bait being no good, I've actually put 5 pieces of corn on that hair and just cast that out about 2 minutes ago. So we'll wait and see if we get a bite on this one, and deduce from there what to do next. Well, the corn rig's been in for about 10 minutes now as well, and it's still nothing. So it's obviously just the day, not my bait. So I think what we have to do now is go with the top secret trick and have a cup of tea. Well, sweet corn didn't do me any good either. There's some rubbish on. I'm going to go back and put some of my bait back on and give it another go. I just hope we catch something today on any bait. As I say, I'm using the 10mm pellets, but what I'm going to do is just use 2 of them this time, see if that makes any difference instead of the 3 that I used previously. There you go. Good thing about these punches is you can do 2 at a time, look. See how this looks before I actually make that decision though. Well, yeah, I think that's still a good enough bait. So we'll chuck out again and see what happens with that again. I've got plenty of corn and ground bait and pellets in there. There should be fish around, but I don't know what's going on today. Taking about, I don't know, 12-13 seconds to hit the bottom at the moment, which is what you'd expect, I suppose. I just hit it just then, give it that slack, and I'll put the anti-reverse on just to be on the safe side. I've got one of the MAP reels on with the automatic clip system, the line clip release. As I said, I will be doing a video about my new ones of those, which have just arrived fairly shortly, but I seem to have too many other things to be doing videos about at the moment. GoPro, start recording. Something going on. Well, first bite. I think it's a carp. And I think it's a fairly decent one too. Kind of silly bite like. That's taken me way over an hour to get. But at least I've caught a fish and it's on my bait, which is a bit of a relief actually. first indication I've really had that was anything like proper. Obviously got the current to help it, so it may be bigger than it actually feels, but sorry, maybe smaller than it actually feels, but I don't care, it's a good fish. Yep, told you it was a good fish, didn't I? Ooh, oh mate. Ooh. Well, I'll be interested to see what this one weighs, and if the bait's still on the hair. In many ways, I'm actually using boilies, because that's the sort of the base mix, but a fairly basic mixture though. All homemade ingredients or stuff that you can buy from the supermarket. Ooh, got some power in this guy. Ow. Whew. He's right down there, look. Just on the surface, I don't know if you can see that. Putting a fair amount of pressure on him. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a relief. Yeah. Get the hook out of him. Well, the hook just fell out of him, so that was okay. Ah, no, in actual fact, that little clip there, I find that with these clip swivel things. I think this one's a matrix one, that in the net, with the hair net anyway, you can end up with a situation where it catches in the, yeah, hook's still in its mouth, look. There's the hook length, I'll just put it down for now, and it actually had unclipped itself, so something you need to be careful of, guys, with those things. But this is a perfectly reasonable fish, probably about £7 or so, but finally we're started, we're okay. Going back to what I was saying, this is my hook length on the loop. This is that swivel thing, and I'll put it back on. You pull the cover back over it like that, but as I say, you need to be careful here, because in the net that can get pulled over and you end up with the hook length coming adrift. Had that before a few times. I don't know if it happens with other ones. I might just try a different one next time. Anyway, back to what we were doing. See if we can catch another fish. Just doing exactly the same again, just the same two pellets, 10mm, and plenty of bait in the feeder, and off we go again. Tide should be getting towards high about an hour from now. Okay, that's the bottom, and let it form the bend, the loop rather. Right. Hopefully that's them turned up now. I don't know if that was a fluke or not. Oh, hang on, what we got here? Just as I turn around there, I'm sure I saw the tip move. I was about to say I haven't had anything else for the last half an hour after that fish, but who knows? Will this turn into a bite? GoPro, start recording. Right. we're in. Just taking off the line clip as well. This was actually on sweet corn. I hadn't had a bite for a while, and so I just tried the sweet corn, and it's been in for a few minutes, and then it actually became a bite, which is something. But it's pretty slow today. That'd be one each on the corn from the one on the pellet now. Still, at least it's a fish. I think what I might do is carry on with the corn for a short while, see if that starts to produce, just in case it's much better than the pellet on the day, and then alternate between that and the pellets. Try and get a feel for how well each one's doing. I know, of course, that sweet corn normally works well here. Oh! He's not really had a racing off sort of a period on this one. He's just been dogged. We did take it off the line clip just at the very start there. Now he decides to fight. That's actually not a bad fish. Might just weigh him. He's not massive, but he's very pretty. He or she anyway. Okay, let's just grab the scales. £10. £10 3 ounces. So if this is like the normal one, that would be a £9 fish. That's it was a lovely thick fish. There we are, look. Nice big thick fish with a big old go. Let's hope that hook length spool hasn't come undone again. Yeah. And it has, look. That sleeve has slid back up again. And I've put it down here somewhere as a hook length, or as a rig, and I can't actually see my hook length. So I think we're going to give these things away. Just take it off and just use a normal loop to loop, because I'm not going to carry on like that every time I catch a fish. Right, I actually did find the hook length on the floor, so that's something. And I'm going to put 5 pieces of corn on, exactly as I had last time, and see if we get a bite. If I do, then I'm going to go back to trying my pellet bait and see what happens with that. And if I don't get any bites on that, I don't really know what to do after that. Anyway, let's get baited up. Now I'm tangled around the rod tip. Back in a minute. There's some sort of movement going on, but I'm not convinced it's a bite. Oh, maybe it is. It's not exactly dramatic though. It just pulled around and it's stopped again. But at least there's something down there. Tide is slowing down a little bit now, so I'm convinced it's not the feeder moving. Not that I've had the feeder moving much anyway. Could well have just been a liner on the line, or on, obviously on the line, or on the feeder itself. Well, that really didn't come to anything. It's just a liner. I left it in for another few minutes, but I think we'll go back and try my bait again now. Don't know what's wrong with the river today, it's just not producing at all. Sweet corn's still on. Right, I just want to think as well. This new bait, I showed anyone that was watching this on the Stillwater video I did, but I've actually put some water inside my Preston punch box here. This is like expanders. You need to keep it wet, otherwise it just dries out and goes all leathery. Okay, let's get some bait on and try again. Right, I'm staying with the 2 bits of pellets because that's what caught me the first fish, and I just feel a bit more confident with it. Oh, I've got a boat coming up the river now. Just what I didn't need. Hope he slows down a bit. Bet he doesn't though. At least he stayed on the far side. We'll give him a wave anyway, eh? Yeah, fair enough. He stayed on the other side. I'll live with that. Right, come on fish. Let's have a bite. Well, I've been here for 3.5 hours now, folks, and normally by now I would have had 6 to 12 fish, something like that, some good ones in amongst them. And today I've caught 2, as you've just seen. 1 on sweet corn and 1 on my pellets. Now, of course, the reason for coming down here was to test whether my pellets work or not. And by only catching 2 fish, and 1 on pellets and 1 on corn, I mean, totally inconclusive. So I'm going to give it best today, but the good news is, because it was totally inconclusive, it means I've just got to come out another time and do it again. So all's not lost, eh? Look, I hope you enjoyed what you did get on this one. Stand by for the next one, and until then, bye for now.